Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio, and with me today is June Liu and John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Slaving away for the man. I love it.
I had the day off, and as is tradition, I put myself to work around the house. So I've been doing summer slash spring cleanup, and so my energy levels are about big right now.
You had is
Nice.
it Canadian holiday?
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
it?
it's Heritage Day, man, where we celebrate our heritage. So today I was, thinking about how awesome it is to be Scottish, and yeah,
Oh,
So just a
nice.
day of reflection, is that what it is
yeah,
like?
day of reflection.
All right,
Enjoying the warm weather
I can
while it
dig it.
lasts,
All right.
cause it ain't gonna last, sucker.
All right. So today we are talking about the Cubariqueño Protocol Probable Cause Corona Gorda. Cigar is 5.62 by 46 ring gauge, comes out of the La Zona factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers Mexican San Andres Maduro, binder and filler are both from Nicaragua. Blended by Hector Alfonso. Price point is $9.79, and it was released in May of 2018. So, June, what was your smoking experience like?
So I spoke through three of these cigars for review, and overall, I'll kind of summarize kind of what I got out of it within the three samples because they're different. But overall, I think this is our fourth review of this line, probable cause, right?
Yep.
I kind of went in there having expectation what to expect, right? So I got chocolate. I have this like rich filled earth, like dirt aspect to it, baking spices. Um, so overall, that was like the overall profile of notes. What I realized was I had to really watch my jaws on these because not that the draw was snug, but if I were to kind of the intensity of draws to kind of be like how I normally would do it, the cigar became charred really fast. And it was to the point where it was so charred that you just don't really taste much anything else to it. But if I were to slow it down, I get pretty good flavors. Retrohaling, some really great notes like honey, black pepper, stone fruits, and then I started getting some spice notes as the cigar continued. Here's the strength and body. It kind of starts out medium, kind of builds to like a medium full. And by the end of the cigar, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, like maybe I should get some sugar. I did it. But, fucking man. All right. In terms of construction, I rated the burn to be good, below our perfect score. So with that said, it had its issues, right? So main issues, wrapper burn wasn't exactly quite up to par. I had to do a couple of fairly major relights. Other than that, the burn was cool, solid ash retention, inch and a half, relatively easy, relatively even burn. The draw I thought was perfect. It was perfect airflow and system.
All right, John, how about you?
Yeah, yeah. I think we've certainly smoked a lot of the probable causes now, and I think the flavor profile is pretty consistent even through the different vitolas. So, again, you're expecting cocoa, and I think June is correct about the strength of the cigar. I mean, it starts out medium, and it kind of sneaks up on you. By the end, you're like, ooh, I didn't think this was a Lazona stick, but oh yeah, there it is, kicking me right in the jimmies. Back to the flavor, medium spices, a little bit of citrus. It's just an all-around great cigar with a lot of complexity. I had some issues with the burn. I try, especially with the Corona Gorda, I want to smoke this cigar as slow as possible. So, I mean, I definitely smoked this cigar very slow because I got like over 2 hours out of it. So it did go out at the end of the first third, but I didn't think I was like not paying attention. So I put that down as a burn issue, as a construction problem. But burn was a little bit wavy. Ash holding on in inch plus increments, which is good for a Corona Gorda. I did have a bit of a tight draw though, which is kind of surprising. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to smoke additional samples just to see if it was a one-off because it is odd for Lazona. Like usually with Lazona, the draw is perfect, but it was just kind of beyond that snug part, so I had to ding it. But overall, I mean, you know, it's a delicious cigar. I enjoy the heck out of it. How was your experience, Aaron?
Yeah, mine started out with quite a bit of charred wood. A little bit of cream joins in the profile a little bit further in, smooths out that charred wood note a little bit. Retrohale kind of carrying a lighter version of that wood and the cream. As that first third comes to a close, char goes away. Dark wood paired with creaminess and a slight mintiness becomes present. About a half inch into the second third, the wood gains a toast note on the retrohale to go along with the cream, and it's kind of all becoming a little bit fuller at that point. About an inch into the second third, cream begins to decrease a little bit, letting the dark wood kind of take the lead in the profile. As the third came to a close, the cream was really faint in the background, and the dark wood is up front. A little bit of earthiness had joined into the profile. Then getting the final third, a little bit of cocoa joins in with the dark wood and the earthiness and the slight cream. A little bit further in, the char enters into the profile again. And then about a half inch in, the char is really ramping up, kind of masking the cocoa and the cream, with the wood and the earthiness are still kind of visible in the profile. Strength was medium through the first 2/3, and then moved up to slightly above medium in the final third. In regards to construction, the burn was pretty wavy through the first half of the cigar. I didn't touch it up, and it did keep going on its own. And the cigar did go on me twice in the final third, requiring a couple of twice. Yeah, couldn't tell if it was 1.5 or whatever, but the ash held on 1.25 inch increments. In regards to the draw, I thought the draw was perfect. No complaints in that front. So Jiunn, overall, what were your thoughts on this one?
Overall, being fourth kind of iteration going through this line, I think kind of like within all the other ones, I think there's a pretty good representation of Mexican San Andreas. When I think about Mexican San Andreas, I think about like that earthiness, that grit, that dirt, the chocolatey aspect of it, and then getting some of that fruitiness from the retro, especially. What I actually didn't mention when I was talking through my smoking experience was I actually got a lot of different flavors out of the cigar. Like I counted like 9 or 10 different ones. But I felt like it's kind of weird because not all of them kind of mixed in together. So the one of those I got was like this like floral perfume aspect to it. It didn't belong in this cigar. Was it cool to like taste? Yeah, it was. But I felt like it was kind of out of place. But in a good way, it is unique. It's quite complex, I would say, for this Corona Gorda. But I mean, I still got to go back to that Churchill that we reviewed maybe a year or so ago. That's still my favorite one. And this is in between like the Lancero and this one will be like my next favorite. Probably.
How about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jiunn in the sense that there's a lot of San Andreas offerings out there. I mean, there's people made the transition using San Andreas wrapper, and there's some good San Andreas and there's some bad San Andreas, and this is definitely in the good to very good spectrum of San Andreas. Agreed on the flavor complexity because a lot of San Andreas can be really one note. Like you just get cream, chocolate, a little bit of spice, and you're done. And that wasn't the case here. I mean, it's kind of surprising actually how much flavor complexity and how many different flavor notes they got out of something this small of a ring gauge. So, I counted nuttiness and citrus and pepper and spices and cocoa for days, a little bit of earthiness just to round it out. And it wasn't that kind of, because you can get earthiness on a San Andreas that can overpower the cocoa, and I'm not really a fan of earthiness to begin with. So I found that the earthiness here was just like nicely balanced. It was just a nice supplementary note. And it does smoke different enough to make it a standout. So like I could see myself having 4 different Vitolas of the Probable Cause just because each one smokes just enough different that, if I want a shorter smoke, maybe I'll, although, like I said, I smoked this fucking thing for 2 hours. So not really much of a shorter smoke. But I enjoy the Lancero. I enjoy the Churchill. I enjoy the Robusto. I enjoy them all. What about you, Adam? Aaron?
Yeah. What's up with this? Yeah, I mean, so we smoked all the Vitolas. I just don't feel like this one's as refined as the other ones are. Started out and finished with quite a bit of charred wood. Kind of had a more balanced profile in between. Wood, earthiness, and cream. Burn's a bit of a struggle as well. Really wavy, a couple of relights necessary. Maybe time will help smooth out some of the burn issues and maybe lighten up on the char, things like that. But I'd favor the other Vitolas. I'd probably go Churchill or Robusto for me. But I mean, I think it's still worth a try. Obviously, you guys had very good experiences with it. I just maybe what I smoked just wasn't up to par with the rest of those, but it didn't feel as refined as the other Vitolas have been thus far. So, getting the scores, Jiunn, you were up top 7.32, then John at 7.02, and then I was the party pooper at 5.80. So, how do you think that match up with your experience, Jiunn?
I think this should line us up perfectly to get some ad revenue for these guys.
How about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird to look at the scores and go, I put it overall as a good, because to me this is one of those cigars that's right on the cusp of moving into that very good territory, and I think that's kind of reflected in the score. Like, to me, anything that sort of broaches that 7-point mark starts to move into that very good territory.
Yeah, for me, it was an overall average experience. The first third was good. The char was just a kind of short-lived thing, and it got into its thing. But after that, it just wasn't as as refined as I had experienced before. And then the cigar finished up with a lot of that char again. So it wasn't that great. Burn was a struggle. Draw was great, but overall, I thought it was average. So my score matches up. Any other final thoughts from you guys on this one?
Realistically, so I didn't think that. It's kind of weird. Like, with probable cause, I feel like with all the Vitolas that we review, except for that, what was it called, the Robusto or Box Express Robusto?
Yeah.
That one, when they originally released it with the Churchill.
Right.
They've all been somewhat inconsistent. But
They've been somewhat what?
Inconsistent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, I really like that Churchill, but there was one of them I remember from back in the day when we did this, that it had the same like char thing going on that I had with some of these within the Corona Gordas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what that is. I mean, whether it's a function of making a cigar or whatnot, but when they're good, they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good thing to have a smoke more than one sample or something like this.
Right.
I think it's worth mentioning that, the price point on a lot of San Andreas ranges a lot. I mean, I would say the average out there's got to be well over the $9 mark. So to get a well-constructed cigar that, for me, had a lot of flavor complexity in his San Andreas for under $9, it's kind of a pretty good value proposition for the market, frankly.
Yep. I agree. All right, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Cubariqueño!